Well, what's up again there, guys? Brian here, D3 Topics Game, here to share with you a rather unusual, let's say, tier list ranking video to share with you guys today. Now, recently I did have a chance to go see Star Wars Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith in theaters again to celebrate its 20th anniversary, and it was an amazing experience, and I'll be sure to leave a link to my review of it in the description down below, or that link up above. But I had an idea that since I really like PlayStation and I love Star Wars, why don't I just mix the two and come up with a list that allows me to rank all of the PlayStation games that were released for Star Wars, or vice versa, Star Wars games that were released for PlayStation. So I thought it'd be a pretty cool list. So that's what we're going to talk about today in this video. So if you do happen to enjoy this video by the end, please do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to track me and all my future ranking reviews and discussion videos in general. And remember, if you guys have any ideas for any future videos that you would like to see me do, let me know what you would like to see in the comments down below, and I will be trying to do my best to get it up as soon as I can, as well as give you a shout out. Now, when it comes to the list of games that I'm going over, I'm sticking strictly to the PlayStation games for Star Wars, or Star Wars games for PlayStation that came out when the game was initially released. I know there's been a bunch of games that have been re-released on PlayStation that were released from other consoles. All these games, when they first came out, were released on PlayStation, so that's the list that we're going to focus on. And this list was a little bit tough to actually find, but I actually did manage to find a pretty solid list. And it's a good list, and I'm sure some of you guys might not even recognize some of these games starting right about now. So the way I'm doing my ranking is pretty much how I usually rank, like do all my reviews in like a score grade mode. So if it's an 8 to 2, if it's a 10 to 8, that's a day one buy for me, even a collector's edition buy. If it's 7 or 6, it's probably something I'll rent, and heck, if it drops into a sales price, I'd pick it up. 5 or 4s, strictly rentals and send them right back. Anything 3 and below is wasting my time, and there definitely have been a number of games that I have not actually played or not even heard of. So let's just start off with the first game for PlayStation. This one is Star Wars Jedi Power Battles. I do remember playing this when I was younger. I thought it was okay, but I would probably put that in a 6. I know that was recently re-released for the PlayStation. I think they kind of like enhanced it a little bit, and it does play a little bit better, but the original version, I would easily give it like a 6, maybe 6.5, and that's just being nice. Next, we have Lego Star Wars The Full Saga. Now, there's a lot of Star Wars Lego games, and there's a number of them that I have not played, but there are some that I have played, and I do know this is one that I know I did not play. They kind of stretch them out. It's like some are focused on certain eras, and then some are kind of repeats of other games, and they just add more to it, but like it's a little all over the place. Next, we have Star Wars Super Bombad Racing. I did not like this one. It was basically supposed to be like pod racing, but with like Star Wars characters with bobbleheads. So, not for me. Next, we have Star Wars Battlefront Elite Squadron. This was released on the PSP, and unfortunately, I just was never a fan of the Battlefront games on PSP. I mean, PSP has a lot of solid games, but Battlefront was just never fun to play, at least for me. So I would give it like a 5.5. Next, we have Star Wars Dark Forces. I'd probably put that at like a 7.5. It was good, but you know, I'd only play it when I was younger, and I wasn't too into shooters at the time. Next, we have Star Wars Battlefront 2. This is a 9. This is easily 9.5. This is one of the all-time greats. This came out in 2005, same year as Revenge of the Sith came out, and many consider this to be easily one of, if not their best or favorite Star Wars game. Like it's up there. It's a phenomenal game. Next, we have Star Wars. I think it's. You know what? I'm actually not too familiar with that one. I can't even tell what that is. But I'm not. I know I've never played that one. Next, we have EA's first Battlefront game. I don't like this one all that much. Not a big fan of EA's Battlefront. I mean, I know that a lot of people really like them, and they have apparently gotten better with time, but when it first came out, I only played this game when it first came out, and it was okay, but it was heavily flawed. Next, we have Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. This probably might end up being my favorite Star Wars game of all time. Jedi Survivor is a very close second, but it's kind of balanced. I mean, I'll go over this when I get to Survivor, but the way I balance the two games is that I think that Fallen Order has a better story, but Survivor has better gameplay. But when it comes to story versus gameplay, story typically gets the edge, at least for me. So that's why I would easily put that at the top. I'm pretty sure that's going to end up being the top. That's easy, like a 9.5 easy. Next, we have the original Battlefront. That's an 8. That's an 8. Fantastic game. Awesome first game. Made proper improvements for Battlefront 2. I got nothing more to say. Holy hell, I remember this one. Star Wars Battle of, Battle Masters of Terrakaze. What a lot of people don't know is that Terrakaze is actually a fighting form in Star Wars Legends. So they tried to make a whole game around them. And I think the concept of a Star Wars fighting game sounds interesting. And I think if this was on Revenge of the Sith, which I'm surprised it's not here. Revenge of the Sith should be here. Revenge of the Sith actually tested that concept out and it worked out pretty well. I don't know. Why the hell is Revenge of the Sith not here? It's crazy. But this is not a good game. It's pretty bad. Next, we have Battlefront 2, EA's Battlefront 2. I'd probably put it like a 7-ish, so I'd probably put it there. Force Unleashed 2. Oh my god, what did they do? The Force game was so good. My only problem with this game is it's too damn short. You could easily beat this game in less than 4 hours, and it is piss-ass easy, and the story is highly lacking. I mean, it is such a massive downer. I mean, gameplay-wise, it's certainly an improvement over the first game, but story-wise, it is so low in quality, it hurts the game badly. And it's a shame we'll probably never know what happened at the end of that game, because it leaves off on a cliffhanger, but I would easily put that as like a 7. Easily. Star Wars Starfighter. Ooh, very good game. That's easily an 8. Awesome game. PlayStation 2 game, came out early, very fun. I like how the main ship is a Naboo fighter. We only got to, that is a beautiful looking ship. It's a shame it didn't get more exposure past the episode 1. Next, we have Star Wars Squadron. I'm gonna give this a 7.5. The only reason I don't like it that much is because it forced you only to play from the cockpit. And I think if you were playing this in VR, it would be a little bit more immersive, but when I play fight simulators, I want to see my ship. I don't like flying from the cockpit. I like it's an option, but when it's forced, it's something I'm not a big fan of, so I'd usually put that like a 7.5. Next, we have Star Wars The Phantom Menace. Probably, I'd put it, I think it's better than that one. I did play that one. A lot of those early PlayStation Star Wars games were very clunky. It didn't have the best controls. So yeah, I think I'd feel comfortable putting it there. Next, we have Star Wars Bounty Hunter. Ooh, this is a little tough. I like it a lot, but I don't love it. But damn, this is tough. You know what the hell? I give it an 8. You know, yeah, I'll give it that. I'll give it an 8. Yeah, pretty good story. Definitely goes in a little more about Jango Fett and why he's such a badass. It does do a lot of, you know, I think it's the backstory. I think it's the backstory that connects to the films that I'll give it that little push. I was kind of leaning more on the 7.5, but that story element is really good. I'd give it the 8. I'd give it that little boost to put it into the 8. Next, we have this Lego Star Wars. Okay, this one I actually like. That's like an 8. That's a definitive 8. Next, Star Wars The Force Unleashed 1. This is a very good game. This is easily an 8.5. I would definitely, and it's an incredible game. Galen Merrick is easily, here's what I say. Galen Merrick to me is the last really good character that was created before Disney took over Star Wars. Just as I view Cal Kestis as the single best new Star Wars character that has been created during the Disney era. But I easily consider like Starkiller and Galen Merrick as like the last great Star Wars characters before Disney owned him, and that's pretty high on my list. I would definitely put it right behind Battlefront 2. It's even though the controls are a little bit clunky, it's still a fantastic game with an awesome story. Next, we have Jedi Survivor. Right behind Fallen Order, above Battlefront. Awesome game, gameplay, massive improvement over Fallen Order. Story's good. I wish it was a little bit tighter. So that's why we'll put it there. Next, we have Star Wars Racer Revenge. Now, this is supposed to be the sequel to Racer from N64, but it wasn't nearly as good. So I'd put it about, oh no, I'd put it there. Next is Star Wars Clone Wars. Oh, this is a very good game. I would put it right. I put it ahead of Battlefront. A lot of great different gameplay modes, different locations, a lot of key battles during Clone Wars. I would easily say that the prequel era, if we were to separate the three eras of Star Wars from original, prequel, and sequel, I think quality-wise, I think the prequels, in terms of quantity, have the most games that were actually really, really good. I think the originals is a good second, but I do think the prequels slightly edges it out a little bit. Next, we have Star Wars Renegade Squadron on PSP. Kind of in the same department as Elite Squadron, except instead of playing as the Empire, now you're playing as the Rebels. It's not fun to play on PSP, at least it wasn't for me. Next, we have Star Wars 2 for Lego Star Wars. This is kind of in the same boat as that one. Next, we have Star Wars Rapid Assault 2. I played this one. I thought it was okay, but it was pretty low in my opinion. I never played the third one. I never played the third one of Lego Star Wars, and I never played that one. But I did play that one, and they're all good games. But I do think they got better with time. So I think the first one was my least favorite, and then it kind of moved up. And I think this one's just kind of a combination of those first two games as a whole. Next, we have Jedi Starfighter. This one is very, very good. I like this one. You play as the Jedi Aligalia, and you work with a group of mercenaries in order to take out a bunch of establishments set by the CIS. Now, what's cool is that the final battle actually takes place at Geonosis, and it's actually you and your forces that actually punch a hole through the CIS forces that allow the clone army to get to Geonosis in order to rescue the Jedi. This was an awesome game, and the fact that you could use force powers while in the Starfighter is awesome. If it wasn't for like games like Rogue Squadron or like the Rogue Squadron games that came out on the, I want to say, the GameCube, this easily is a top 5 greatest flight simulator Star Wars game of all time. Very high on my list. I would put it about there. I'd put it there. Oh God, I won't even look at that one. And I don't even know what that one is. And holy hell, that Clone Wars game was garbage. But was it worse than Terra's Kaze? Yeah, the controls were crap in that game. It was bad. It was really, really, really bad. So that's going to be my tier list rankings of a lot of the Star Wars games that were originally released on PlayStation. However, I will say this. If Revenge of the Sith was in here, I don't know why Revenge of the Sith was not in here. If I did have Revenge of the Sith, it would be easily an 8.5. I think I would put it above Force Unleashed 1, but behind Battlefront 2. So it's kind of crazy how Battlefront 2 and Revenge of the Sith came out the same year. So 2005 was a very good year for Star Wars. So that is my tier list ranking. If you want to give it a try, how would you rank these games? Share your ranking with me and Elvis in the comments down below. And like always, thank you guys for watching. You're awesome, and I'll see you guys next time.